we're live.
Hello, chat. How are you today?
Yes, the game is on ESPN Plus, Hulu, Disney Plus tonight.
Yeah. ESPN Plus and Hulu. And if you don't have those, get creative. And if you're from Europe, I don't know what you use, something else.
There are a couple of sites in the chat I would recommend.
Yeah, I expect this to be an extremely sludgy hockey game, if I'm honest. I don't think we'll see wide open hockey.
I will put it in the ticker, but just so you know, chat lines are the same except Dahan has been swapped in for Middleton.
Bunch of softies on the island. Nobody gonna fight.
I hope there is one fight.
Yeah. Doesn't really need to be a fight.
Yeah.
Just punch a Nazi. That's all.
Yeah, there's nothing I can really do about my mic. It's just a headset. Just a Turtle Beach headset. Let's see if I can MacGyver something, and why is this shrinking?
What up, Sasha?
Let's see.
I mean, I feel like the Avs went off a little bit last game, at least offensively. They scored, 5 on 24 or something? That's very good shooting.
Does this sound better?
Sounds the same to me, but I can hear you, so whatever.
Well, okay. La 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 la.
Quick, everybody look at this highlight of the Hurricanes. It's not me ranting in, though, so nobody cares.
I wish ESPN Plus would start my stream. That would be cool.
It's on for me.
I just need to reload it, probably.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't, play automatically like you would fucking expect a real streaming service to do.
Dude, every sports streaming service is, so far behind the times. It's crazy.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, let me turn that down.
You can still kind of hear it.
Really? Because I can barely hear it with my headphones on. Okay, that sucks.
It's very quiet. But
I'm not getting banned on this stream. Goddamn microphone can pick up a speaker that's on the other side of the room, but it can't pick up me. Stupid. Goddamn Turtle Beach.
That limb might be the trunk of the tree, Michael. And the puck is down, at least for me.
Okay, we'll get there eventually. Internet.
Do it old school.
I'll update at whistles. How's that sound, chat?
1939, 38, 37, 36, 35. Ooh, good little chance there. Couldn't quite connect on it for Druin.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
All right, well, first shift of the game, the Avs show some jump. Let's see if they can keep it up. Yeah, the Eric rant on the show the other day was great.
Yeah, we can post clips over the weekend.
Yep. Second line is interesting. I know Lecky's doing a lot of the heavy lifting on it, but there's some good flashes from Parsonen. And when Middlestat looks comfortable, it's big for him. Third line. Getting a good offensive zone shift here, but okay. That didn't feel good. Ooh. Is Jack Drury going to be a really frustrating player because he's really good, but is just missing that 1% more skill to finish plays? Is that who Jack Drury is? Ooh, Kelvin. Not your best there, buddy. Got away with it, though. Do I think Wood is moved by the deadline? I doubt it. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, and I'm not even against it happening necessarily, but it's hard. When you have a contract that long for a bottom six guy, those are hard to move. Ooh, maybe one pass too many, Mac. I know that's a tough angle, but
there hasn't been a whistle in so long. I was like, well, let me make sure I update the chat.
Yeah. They're just playing. No whistles here. I mean, I think LOC is a good bit more physical than Drury is. Not that Drury's defense is very, very good. He just goes about it a bit differently. Yep, Nathan McKinnon do be fast. Oof, Kale almost made that work. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Rangers game version of Natchez is crazy. If you get that out of him regularly, ooh boy. There you go. Good forecheck from the second line here. Didn't get a whole lot out of it, but ultimately that's a shift you win, right? The Islanders get 0 seconds of offensive zone possession on this shift. What up, Dylan? It does feel like the Avs lineup is starting to get closer to what you want it to be. The bottom of the forward core is still a little bit thin, and you probably need one more real defenseman. But that conversation has gone from you need a middle six center to you probably just need a depth center. Not that you would take a middle six center if it's on the table, but and then the D core, you've always kind of needed one more D. That hasn't really changed, but it does feel like the Avs are icing a NHL lineup now, even if the bottom of it is maybe a touch thin, instead of icing like 4 AHL dudes at the bottom. Gotta catch that one, Martin. It's on ESPN Plus only, or ESPN Plus affiliated streaming stuff. So what, Hulu?
Just Hulu and Disney Plus.
And Disney Plus. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's just impossible to really judge, right? Like, the reality of the Mikko situation is, how does Marty compare to him in the playoffs? Because in the regular season, Mikko's a known quantity. He's a ridiculous offensive talent, but regularly will coast. And he's good enough to still produce that way. And Marty isn't that guy. Natchez will absolutely work his tail off in the regular season. But realistically, when Mikko turns up the wick in the playoffs, can Marty give you something even in the same neighborhood? And they just had a good playoffs last year. I think it was 9 points in 11 games, which is really good. But Mikko last year was 14 points in 11 games. So there's a difference. I mean, I don't know. I'm everything coming out of Vancouver is that Pettersson is not leaving and it's going to be Miller. So I don't know. Yeah, I have no interest in playing Natchez at center, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, Vancouver's just in a bad spot. Like, neither of those guys are easy to move because of contract, because of the value Vancouver is going to want back, because of the obvious issues going on. Like, I do not envy where Vancouver is there. It sucks. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a top line winger. I don't. Yeah, obviously, the way Bednar plays with his lines, the top six is usually pretty fluid, so whatever. But as far as production skill ability, I think Marty's a top line winger. Okay. Time for the Avs to do good things. I don't know. This game has not been as dangerous as, I mean, I guess it has been as dangerous as I was expecting, which is not that dangerous so far. That's what I should say. Yeah, Petterson's contract is a lot. All right. Kale settles it down. Top line is able to get possession there. I think I'd rather Mac one-timed that, but he at least tried to put it to the net, so I can't complain too much. The effort seems there. Top line's working. They're earning pucks. Got to do a better job of getting pucks to the net, like on net, not just shooting, actually on net. Well, there's a couple. I mean, I think the number one target for the Avs in reality, because Crosby's not happening, I think a realistic top target for the Avs should be Yanni Gourde. Your top 9 looks pretty freaking good. If you get Nichushkin healthy and you pick up Yanni Gourde, your top 6 is McKinnon, not necessarily in this order, but a combination of McKinnon, Nichushkin, Druin, Middlestat, and Lehkonen. And then you can run a third line of like Gourde, Colton, Parsonen. And your fourth line ends up being Drury, LOC. Take your pick of Kiviranta or Miles Wood, I guess. Oh boy. All right. You got away with that. That was weird decision. That was the I don't know what to do with the puck, so I'm just not gonna make a play with it angle for the Islanders there. made Blackwood's life pretty easy, to be honest.
He's a little dramatic sometimes, though. Good lord. Looking like a freaking starfish.
I mean, he was expecting the Islander to do something with it. So
you're right.
And then the Islander just kind of skated it behind the net and is like, okay.
Just like, ugh.
All right. Another offensive zone possession and another missed net. All right. It's getting a little expensive now. Avs got to start hitting the net. Yeah. 39 was also Francois's number. It's common goalie number, though. Matt can't make the move there. Is what team good enough to compete with Vegas? Avs with a healthy Nichushkin? Yes, definitely. I think the Avs could compete with Vegas right now, to be honest with you. Like, not saying they can win, but they could definitely compete with Vegas right now. As it stands, a lot of it falls on Blackwood. With the Avs' current lineup, if you were in a playoff series, you would need Blackwood to play very, very well. If you get Nichushkin back, if you add another piece, that becomes you just need Blackwood to play well enough. I don't think you can really move on from Colton. Like, okay, sure, Gord is actually a center, but like how you're not really giving yourself more, certainly not more offensive ability by swapping Colton for Gord. Yeah, they're literally like the exact same player when it comes to their production. Total points, at least. Colton has more goals, obviously, but I mean, at this point, if the Avs get another game out of Gabe Landeskog, it's a bonus. It's been a weird period. The first 5 minutes went so fast, and then it just completely slowed down.
I hate playing against this team. It's like a freaking sludge fest every time.
Yeah. Yep.
Like trying to run through quicksand watching these games.
I mean, this is it for the Landy situation, right? Like, it's already been pushed back that he can't really come back in the regular season. So either he's going to be good to go for the playoffs, and if he's not good to go, then I'm pretty. You might as well just treat it like he's never coming back at that point. Like, maybe you try it one more time with him at the start of the season. Like, you get to the midpoint, you get to July 1st, and then you have to make your free agency signings. But if he's not saying he can do it on July 1st, then his career is over. Like, you just can't wait any longer for it. I'm not all that worried about Mikko in Carolina. He'll be fine there. He's a really good hockey player. I do think it will be interesting that, like, it's been, 4 days, and there's not a contract done? If they don't extend him in Carolina, if that is a trade for Mikko Rantanen as a rental, it's going to be tough if they don't win the Cup. If they don't win the Cup with that trade, that is a tough look for Carolina. Oof, weird little bounce there. Isles have not handled the Avs forecheck well. I will say that. A couple of second chance opportunities here. It's a shot on net. With that line out there, you're pretty darn happy with this shift. Penalty coming. Should I believe it's a real penalty, or are the refs going to be making stuff up today? I mean, if that was the penalty, it was made up, but I don't know if that was a penalty or not. I do have a bet on a Nature's point power play point tonight, so I'm down. I'm down for that. Instead, Makar fumbles the puck. Unfortunately. Makar got caught with his head down a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, that's just a good, clean hit. Makar just didn't see him. Okay, don't do that, please. Bad leave. Oof, this has been a rough power play so far. All right, you got set up, though. There's still a lot of time. Make something happen. Someone other than Kale, maybe? I would like a forward to score on the power play this year. Ooh, man. This has been a brutal power play for Kale. All right, good entrance. I don't know. It feels a little awkward with Natchez in that deep spot on McKinnon's side. And Mac is not shooting the puck, and he's taking away that shooting spot from where Natchez was shooting it a ton the other day. Oof, decent second chance opportunity for Ross there, but it was a little in tight. I mean, I don't mind that Druin shot that at least. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing there. I mean, Mikko's going to have to make a decision. If he doesn't sign in Carolina, he's going to have to actually decide whether he wants money or a chance to win. because you can't have both in the modern NHL. I mean, he'll still get paid a ton, don't get me wrong, but if he wants maximum amount of money on his contract, you have to play for a bad team. That's all there is to it, really. Yikes, Parker. I know those are bouncing pucks, so like fair enough. It's hard, but they also look a bit casual with the puck at times tonight. They're just expecting it to bounce for them instead of doing a little bit extra to make sure they're making the play. Yeah, the Avs don't have room for Sod. No way you're picking up $4.5 million for him right now. I mean, Kale gets a blank check on his next deal, right? The Avs just hand him a check and tell him to write a number, and he'll probably take a bit of a discount because that's who he is. He wants to win. He likes it here. He's loyal. He wants to be successful. So, I don't think he's gonna take the maximum possible dollar value you're allowed to, but it's gonna be the most paid player on the Avs, and not by a little. Yeah, Sod was really good that year, but he's not that guy anymore, and that's why he's on waivers.
That's crazy. How the mighty have fallen.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he definitely was a little bit unwilling to shoot on that power play. But, I mean, that's not that unusual this year. It is what it is. Felt a little bit awkward. Last game, they were just putting Marty in that spot on the left half wall, and that most of that power play, Marty stuck either net front or down along the goal line on the left side, and it just felt crowded with McKinnon and him in that area. Oh my god, this period is dragging so badly. Well, Mac won that face off. Can you get a decent chance out of it? Maybe. Yeah, Marty couldn't quite make the play there. Boy, the Islanders are just. They seem like they do a decent job of getting pucks to dangerous areas, and then they just don't know what to do from there. It's weird. Oof, that was interference. Little change-up shot there. I mean, Mikko Rantanen just got traded, right? Like, if they believe it's the right deal, anything is available. Like, if it's for Sidney Crosby, you better believe Richie's on the table. Kind of a bad icing. Yeah, he definitely could have called interference there. Lee knew exactly what he was doing. All right. Get out of this period 0-0. We'll call it a good road period. Just don't have a funky one bounce in your net. Do I see a possible trade with Nashville as a possibility? I mean, Nashville is certainly not going to make the playoffs, so sure, they should be a team you're looking at. It's in division, so that does complicate things a bit. But maybe. I mean, let me look at what some contracts are on Nashville. Let's see. Well, Avs have created a lot of good turnovers, man. Their pressure on the puck has been really, really good. I mean, what's interesting? Nyquist could be a rental, but like, do you want Nyquist? I don't know. 20 points in 47 games on a bad Nashville team. He doesn't really play center, though, is the thing. The rest of it is tough. Like, obviously, there's no way you're making a deal for Forsberg, Stan, Kos, or Marchessault. That's not happening. On the defensive side, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could talk me into Lausanne or Luke Shen on the defensive side if you're trying to pick up an extra D. That could be interesting. Chicago can't eat any more cap. They've used up all 3 of their retention slots. All right. Kind of a weird period, but it's 0-0. Feels like the Avs are putting on good pressure if they can maintain it through the game. Might just be a goalie duel type of night. We'll see. Yeah, that's the end of the first. So I'm going to take my intermission break, but I'll be back in like 10 minutes or something. Talk to you soon. Okay, let's do this. Let's watch more riveting hockey played by the New York Islanders. I mean, I'm not saying the Avs don't need to get better on their third pairing, but I don't think it's actually that bad. They've had bad stretches, but it's also a third pair. They're not going to be your best defenders. Interesting Corsi numbers by the end of that period. The only player sub 50% Corsi is Miles Wood. So, Avs doing a good job possessing the puck in that period. Mm. I mean, Manson's your best possession defenseman in that period. So, and I get what you're saying. Like, I know there have been stretches of hockey where Manson has played poorly, but I like Ristolainen, the player, sure, but they would need a significant amount of retention to even consider it. Like, you're not paying that guy 5.1 for the next 2 additional years after this one. You're just not.
Not paying that gay anything. That was funny. How much does Connor Murphy make? 4.4. I don't know if I love that, to be honest. He is big, though. There is that.
Not really. Neither of them have really had much of anything. I'm sure they had like some systems installed and stuff yesterday, but an actual proper practice, no.
I'm blinking, Brandon. Do you see it?
All right. What does period 2 have in store for us? A goal, perhaps? Something interesting? A highlight reel of Nathan MacKinnon choosing the wrong times to shoot the puck?
Rudo, you don't watch TikTok, so I didn't send it to you, but I sent AJ this old interview of Nathan MacKinnon this morning. He was 15. First of all, sounds exactly the same.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't sound any different. Second of all, it was literally like a minute and a half of him just talking about how he thinks he's a really good two-way player.
Nope.
It was really cute, but yeah, I was like, brother.
Hey, look, when you're 15 and playing against other kids, you're a really good two-way player because you just always have the puck, all right? Last piece of the puzzle, just not quite connecting for the Avs right now. They're making good plays, but just not quite finding it. Dude, Kale looks like he has nothing in the tank tonight. That man needs some help.
I think it was CPR just put out an interesting article about like how all the Colorado teams got their name and like Colorado versus Denver and like it was very interesting. You guys should go read it.
Should still be the Colorado Extreme.
Agreed. Just kidding.
They can name the PWHL team that. It's fine.
No, the PWHL team should be the Yetis.
Ooh, good try by Casey there. Just couldn't quite get to the puck. Flipped across. Okay, that's fine. They have win in their name. Why don't they have any cups? Don't they already call Dallas the Big D? Dude, that guy on the bench looks more bored than I am. And he's playing in this game. Ooh, free puck. Thank you. Show me a depth goal or something. Just feels like the top line, not that they're playing poorly, but it's just not quite clicking. How that going to be interference on the Avs? No, okay. I guess interference just isn't a call we're making in this game. That's fine. That puck was just sitting. That was so weird. Look, man, does the WHA still exist? No? Then who cares? For all I know, the WHA is a made-up league by people trying to troll me because I wasn't alive back then. Bye, random Winnipeg guy. Okay. What the hell was that from Natchez? He just AFK'd on that play and let that guy recover the puck, get to the net, and then didn't even really affect the play. That was bad. That was really, really bad.
This was the worst trade ever. This guy sucks. I'm just kidding.
I mean, he just doesn't affect them at all. You need a better back check than that, man. Well, this game is not about to get any funner. The Rangers are about to go full lockdown mode. Oof. The passing is moving in the wrong direction right now for Colorado. Lecky working hard. Can you create something off the wall here? Cameraman can't track the puck. Dude, has this cameraman ever watched a hockey game before? Yeah, I don't know. This has not been a particularly engaging hockey game. Can you get a shot on goal here at least? Maybe. Okay. What's it going to take for the Avs to get a goal here? Do they have a high skill play in the bag, or are they going to need a bounce? It's a really good shift here. Drury put in work, and then he errant passed and it got out of the zone. But quick up, get some numbers. McKinnon do something crazy. Tried the wraparound, but it just don't work. Goalie's too big. Another kind of whiffed pass there. Superstar stuff. It's a decent chance. Couldn't find the back of the net, though. I mean, it's another good shift, but good shifts that don't result in goals mean the Avs are still losing right now. And now we all hug along the boards for the next 45 seconds. The Avs do win the battle, though, at least initially. Up quick, and their D still can't change. Couldn't quite connect, though. Ooh, great keep from Taves. Holy. They're gonna get a whistle. So power play attempt number 2. Hopefully it's better than the first one. Yep. Stick chopped in 2. That's just a call every time, even if it's just how the NHL is. If stick breaks, they pretty much call it. I mean, yeah, I think you do want Blackwood to make that save, but that the defensive effort in front of him is terrible. Can they score a power play goal 2 games in a row? Is it possible? Some say no, but it might be possible.
I say no. Prove me wrong, Avs. I'm here to be proven wrong.
I mean, I don't think they lose the game if they don't score on this, but they would make their lives a lot easier if they do. Yeah, we talked about that on the show the other day.
Yeah, I think between Eric's 35-minute rant yesterday and AJ's piece that's up for diehards today, we've covered this trade pretty extensively.
Let's see. Let's see if they put Natchez on the left side. for this one, or if they continue to work McKinnon on that half wall. Good takeaway from Marty there. Get some possession. They're starting with McKinnon on the half wall, but let's see if they rotate it. Another fake one-timer from McKinnon. And the Kale wrister doesn't get through. Keep possession, though. Come on. They've worked hard. They deserve a goal here. They've been doing the little things and winning the puck battles tonight. It's a good shot from Mac. Sorokin just got enough of it to keep it out. Come on, Drew. You gotta make a better play there, man. Team gave you a great entry, and you just bobble fuck the puck 3 times, and you don't get the possession. I'm sure they would love to run a power play like the Oilers, but Nathan McKinnon has just decided that he does not want to move his feet on the power play. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Did that go in? Is it still loose? I genuinely can't tell. Clearly it didn't go in. I don't know. Why didn't they blow that whistle earlier? I feel like that was covered. That'd have been really interesting if they'd have called that a kick or not, if it went in. Win a faceoff, get one more chance on the power play? Sure, why not? Rip one home. Somebody just unload a bomb. McKinnon on the right side for these last 10 seconds. Nice move by Marty. 17 passes too many. He could have called a trip there. He didn't, but he could have. And they were offside. Okay. I mean, they scored on the power play last game, but much like the last time they scored on the power play, after scoring once on it, they immediately go right back to doing the thing where they're not being dangerous enough. Like, it's a symptom of not moving your feet as much as it is anything, right? Because the Avs just pass it back and forth and everyone's standing in their spots. And because no one's moving their feet, every time they look towards the net, they don't have an open shooting lane or the goalie's dead square to them, because it's easy to track a puck when no one's moving around and you know where it's going. Like, you can pass the puck all you want. It doesn't matter. It's not going to create good chances if nobody's moving. Patty Waugh getting the interview. Down 1-0, half the game left. You got to score at least one. Really, you got to score at least two to win the game. What up, Australia? Max tried it a few times, Ryan, but it has not worked nearly as effectively this year as it has in previous. And on the power play, he continues to look for decisions other than shooting the puck himself. Well, that was not your best entry. Dude, this cameraman is struggling. Yeah, the whole Avs lineup all of a sudden is just addicted to this. Skate up the wall and throw a puck to the middle as hard as you can and hope for the best. It's not the recipe for success. Malinsky didn't get as much as you would have liked on that one. And then he completely... No, that wasn't Malinsky. Never mind. Another extended ozone shift, but... Oh, Josh, shoot that. McKinnon goes for the round the world and completely misses the net. And that's the end of the possession. Ooh, icing. Give it to him. Nice. They have to stay out there. Yeah, and this has been the story of the last while. In their losses, they score 2 goals or less, and in their wins, they score 5 goals or more. And there's been no in between. Mac wanted a hook there, didn't get it. Ruined a good possession, to be honest. I'd like a little more effort. You had them on an icing, and you just let them get a free change. Even if you don't get the call, you can fight through it. Off his butt! God, he's got a good stick. Holy shit, Lecky. You're so good. I can't even, I'm actually mad at Nathan McKinnon for passing that, but Lecky just is better. He don't give a shit. This is such a good pass from Natchez to set up McKinnon. It's a really nice play, I guess. I can't be that mad that Mac passed it. If Lecky didn't randomly eat shit, it would have looked really pretty. And then Lecky finished it anyway. Please, no give goal back. Do not do the thing where you let them score it right back. I'll be mad. Don't do that. You could score another one, though. I'd be okay with that way, if you want to do it that way. All right, got it through. Malinsky's shot is off. There you go, Kale. That looks more like you. You got him cross side. Marty didn't really see him, which understandable. McKinnon lost his stick and looks deeply confused. You can't make that stuff up. This team tries to make the prettiest play of all time, succeeds, and it's finished by a guy falling on his ass and chipping the puck into the net. Yeah, sure. The Avs could put Val on LTIR if they wanted to. Whew. I mean, I would be laughing too if I was Nate on that goal. I'm not going to lie. I mean, Malinsky even looked really good at the start of this season. The production hasn't been there, but for the first 20 games, his metrics were really good playing with Calvin DeHaan. But I don't know. I don't know what changed. His puck management, he just lost his confidence with it, it seems like, and it's just not been effective. I mean, it was a week ago or so now, I think, where Val had a setback. They weren't super specific about it, but it's going to be longer than they initially thought. I can just count down. The TIFF's clock is actually 10 seconds ahead of mine now, so I'm at 31, 30, 29, 28, 27.
I know. I was 20 seconds behind you at the beginning of the game, and now I'm ahead of you. I don't know how that happened.
I probably just need to refresh my feed, but I'll do it at intermission. It's whatever. Yeah, the Avs have completely done. I wasn't kidding. The Rangers. I keep saying the Ranger. They're both from New York. All right, they're the same. The Islanders scored that goal and immediately said, "We're going to try and win this game 1-0." That's how they play hockey.
Can I ask maybe a dumb question?
Sure.
So, the Islanders have been this way for a long time.
Yep.
But they've gone through a couple different head coaching changes.
Yep.
So, all the new head coaches come in and just do the same thing?
I mean, it's yes and no. A number of the coaches they've had have been more defensive minded, or in Wah's case, he's more of a counter-attacking coach than he is a generating offense coach. But more than coaching system is it boils down to your personnel. They don't have enough high-end offensive talent to play high-speed hockey. They have a bunch of dudes who they can score goals, they can work hard, they do good stuff, create rebounds and bang things home and get to the dirty areas, but they don't have enough puck driving players to play aggressive offensive hockey, essentially. So they have to try and play more of a shutdown style. They also don't have the skaters to keep up with teams like the Avs. They're just not fast enough.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, that just will get the secondary on the goal. The point of retroactive IR is just the date they're eligible to come off of the IR. Because with regular IR, you have to be on it for at least 7 days. And with LTIR, you have to be on it for at least 28 days, I believe it is. So you don't want to put him on there and then something changes and he's more hurt than you thought, or you realize you need the room. You can retroactively do it to the date where he got injured. So you don't get punished for not putting him on there the second he got hurt. Mac got the primary for sure. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, the Lou definitely has a style of player he likes. Not that they aren't good players, but you try to make a whole team out of Cal Clutterbucks and Matt Martins, you're not going to have a lot of offensive skill. Yeah, I mean, the places might have the score line wrong, but like I just watched the replay. Nate just patches it to McKinnon, passes it to Lecky, and it goes in the net. So that's going to be the score line. It's 24 days. Thank you, DJ. Oof. Like Avs did a good job of preventing it there, but that's how the Rangers try and score on that play that you just saw. They had two guys essentially in the crease trying to jam home something. That's the way they play offensive hockey. Yeah, I mean, that's Barry Trotz's was, I suppose. He's not a coach anymore. He's a GM. Arguably the best structural defensive coach in the NHL for a long time. Whoa, Manson, shoot it, dude. You're not Nathan McKinnon. You can't make that pass. Nathan McKinnon can't. That's offside. Nathan McKinnon can't even make that pass most of the time. I mean, it could be a problem for anyone else that gets hurt, but Val's already been out long enough that the 10 games nor the amount of timeout will be a problem for him. I'm just going to keep saying Rangers. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They're from New York. They wear blue. They're both going to lose to the Avs. So I think we'll probably do one for the finals, maybe the semis. I don't know about like the group play or whatever. All right. I mean, that was a pretty darn good period of hockey. The Avs played well. You just got to go finish, go get another goal. We'll see. We'll see if they can break the 1-goal curse. I am going to take my intermission break now, and I will be back in like 10 or so minutes.
All right, well, here's a funny little story. So, God, I'm going to say early 2000s, playing for the New York Rangers, MSG, world's most famous arena, the blue shirts, Broadway. It doesn't get any better than that, I tell you, folks. It was so fun to play for the Rangers. What a unique experience. And anyway, so one of those nights, it's like a January night, and we were struggling as a team, the New York Rangers that year. We didn't fare too good. We had a very high payroll, a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure. We just couldn't just, it just couldn't come together as a team. And for me personally too, it was not a very good season. So I was struggling. I was trying to hang on. I was desperately trying to stay in the league. And anyway, one of those nights, I want to say it was Tampa Bay. And we had a tough night. The old pesky Rangers lost. I want to say it was 8-1. It was a drubbing. It was bad. We didn't touch the puck. It was awful. And same thing. When the game ends, obviously I was married, and my wife Jill of 25 years, was at the game. And so after the game at MSG, you got to walk a little bit and go towards the green room to pick up your family. At the time, we had no kids. And so anyway, I was just walking there, and I was really, really mad, to be honest with you. I didn't talk to anybody, just put my suit on and went down to the green room, picked up my wife and said, all right, let's go. Well, probably, like I said, I didn't say a word. I just kind of nodded at her. We're out of here. And at MSG, it's a little complicated because it is, obviously in Manhattan, and then you have to go across the street, and then the parking garage is over there that the players use, and it's hard, it's complicated. It's like a valet system, and it takes forever. So again, that night was nothing different. It took forever to get the car. So you're talking a good 20-25 minutes by the time I picked her up in the green room, walked all the way to the parking garage, got in the car. We lived in the city there, not too far from MSG. And, so there's a lot of traffic in New York City. If you've never been there, it's a little unique. It's a little crazy. So we hit a few lights, and finally my wife said, hey, honey, but at least you played well. And so I didn't say anything, and then I kind of looked at her, and I was like, what'd you say? She's like, well, I know you guys lost, and you're a team player, and I know you guys got killed, but hey, I thought you played really well, honey. And I looked at her, and I was in disbelief. And what I said to her after that, we still talk about it like you're talking about 30 years later, but I looked at her and I said, honey, I was a healthy scratch. I was not dressed for this game. And that's why I was mad, because I was a healthy scratch. And her face was unbelievable. She felt so bad that she had no idea that I hadn't played, that I was not dressed But I tell you one thing, it was one of the best nights after that. We laughed, and that's what I needed. Just put things in perspective. And, I kind of left everything there at work. I didn't bring work home, and it was fun. And, we went out to eat, and I had a smile on my face, and that's exactly what the doctor had ordered. And, but I tell you one thing, she won't live that one down, and she still doesn't. See, we're still talking about it. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. Love my wife, but at a hockey game, she had no idea. She never looked at anything. She never looked at what was going on. All she did was sit in the stands and talk with the other ladies and her friends and whoever was in town. And she never realized that I was never dressed.
Is this the longest interview of all time that ESPN is doing with Mark Stone? How are they still talking to this guy? Okay, it's over. I mean, I think you're probably leaving Natchez on the first line in the immediate, but it depends on when Val gets back and what the Evs look like at that point. You're again, it's hard to say because Bednar is not afraid to just mix it up. Like you'll probably see all the combinations once Val gets back. You'll see Val on the top line, you'll see him on the second line. You'll probably see him with Netches, you'll see him with Lecky, you'll see him with Druid. And then the centers will obviously be McKinnon and Middlestat, but what does it take to get JT Miller? Too much. I don't even think the Avs realistically could unless they retain, because they'd have to move out like 3 million more to get him. So that's like even moving out Miles Wood isn't enough. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I wouldn't go get Miller either, but even if you wanted to, I just don't see how you could make it work. Yeah, well, people say lots of things. It's just not like, had the Avs not added Jack Drury to the deal, then you could see it. Like then the money starts to be maybe manageable, but they essentially only freed up like $1 million in cap space from the Miko deal, so they didn't really move enough to make room for Miller. I mean, I think they only really need a center if they're healthy. Like if Val gets healthy, your wing group is Val, Natchez, Lehkonen, Druin, Colton, Parsonen, LOC, Wood. Like that's a pretty darn good wing setup. Cupcakes and a sandwich? That seems so random. I mean, I think re-signing Druin just became a lot more realistic now that you're not talking about signing Miko. All right. Third period is a go. I refreshed my feed, so you may have to resync. I'm at 9:42, 41, 40, 39, 38. If you play like the second period, you're just going to win this game. That was pure dominance, but score effects, even if it was only one goal, was definitely a factor there. So let's see. The Avs can keep their legs and keep doing the good things. If they keep up the good forecheck pressure, I like their chances. Will say Avs need to be disciplined here. They've had 2 power plays. The Rangers have had none. There could be a call coming against them. Yeah. Natchez is one of the fastest skaters in the league, for sure. Favorite and least favorite parts of covering a hockey team for a living? I mean, there's very few negatives on the whole. Like, I get to watch hockey and cover hockey and talk about hockey for a living. Like, 90% of this stuff is stuff I would just do anyway if I wasn't making content or this wasn't my job. So that's the coolest part. The least cool part is I mean, there's only really like 2 things that I don't like about this job. One being shitheads on the internet that think I'm worth sending death threats to. And the other is there's just, at the end of the day, every business is a business. So you have to do stuff to make money as the Avs give up the goal. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, man. It's an insanely good shot. It's really defended pretty well, too. Guess the problem is right here. Calvin DeHaan and Sam Malinsky. Really, that's more Malinsky. Yeah, Malinsky has to do a better job of managing the puck there. That play probably, like, when Malinsky is scratched next game, that play is why.
Chat, did anybody listen to the Natchez interview on Spittin' Chicklets? Is it worth listening to? Get anything good out of it?
I mean, it's not anything unusual. Like, I would just, in a perfect world, I would get to make content and we do a podcast with no commercials, right? Like, it'd just be us talking hockey and that'd be it. But
Gotta make money.
Yeah, I have to live. So get in. Not a great finish from Mac there. It's a good little play, though. Yeah, he kind of flubbed it. I mean, they didn't flub it. It just rolled on him a little bit, I guess. Okay, well, they weren't going to win if they only scored one goal anyway, so they got to score another one to get at least a point now. Who's got it in the bag? Probably need not your top line to get something done for you. But I mean, I would take it from the top line, of course. Good keep by Josh there. Malinsky do be in a funk, no doubt about it. Good little chance from Drury. You're working hard, getting another. Hey! Hard work. Hard work pays off right there. Second chance opportunities, things like that. Eventually, it's going to go in. Eventually, it's going to go in. Did Colton get a piece of this? Hard to say. He celebrated like he did. I'm not sure who got the secondary on that one.
ESPN has Ross as the primary.
Yeah, Ross got primary.
No, sorry, as like the goal scorer.
Yeah, I guess that's true. If Ross tipped it, then it changes it. I was operating under. Oh, they're challenging it for what? I'm obviously have the game muted, so for goalie interference. Okay, he's in the crease.
Doesn't look like it to me, but
Sorokin initiates the contact, but it definitely didn't affect his ability to make the save.
Isn't that just screening the goalie?
I mean, it's goalie interference, so I don't know. The concern is he's in the crease, right? Like, and maybe he gets pushed in a little bit by Mayfield, you could say, and like he definitely contacts the blocker, but doesn't seem like he interrupts Sorokin's ability to make the play at all. I get it. I get the challenge from Waz's side of it. With plays like this, you might as well flip that coin. Maybe you get the call. I can see it coming back. I can see it standing. I think it really could go either way on this one. Yeah, gets called back. Well, this is part number 3 of 4 of the recipe of how you lose this game. It's just so hard. It's so fucking hard mentally. Like, you've played really well. You've done all the hard work. You get a goal like that, and the 50-50 bullshit call goes against you on a stupid rule. And it's like, okay, sure, maybe they've been calling it that way, but still, like, it sucks. Yeah, I like if you're an NHL player right now, the way they're calling it this year, you should genuinely just treat it like the 90s. Like treat the rule as if it's you can't have a foot in the crease when you score. Like that's how you should treat it based on how they're calling it now. That's it. So both games the Avs play in New York, they get a goal called back for goalie interference. Interesting. Yeah, Sorokin knew exactly what he was doing there, for sure. Okay. How is that not a penalty? I know the Avs are up 2-0 in penalties, but New York just mauling them right now. Is there like a dead spot on the ice or something? All right. Yeah. It's another good hard working shift, but this one you're going to end up with no shots on goal on. Too late in the game to have good hard working shifts that don't result in chances. Unless something weird can happen. Yeah. Yeah. Someone had to shoot eventually. Good job to hustle back by Wood there. He's out of gas now, though. Yeah. Is that going to be icing? No, it's good flip. Good flip. Oh, okay. Good save. Good save. A little redirected weirdness. I don't know that this is a goalieing necessarily. You just can't. You can't get goalied every loss. You can't look at every time the Avs score one goal and go, well, they just got goalied again. Like it's too frequent of an issue, right? What is with ESPN's weird obsession of showing Buccigross eating stuff? Oh, I don't need any more goalie interference sightings. I need goalie interference to go away. Yep, Nate just definitely uses skill. He's got a lot of hands, a lot of feet, and the Avs need a lot of goals. Live the dream. Be way ahead of me. You're in the future. Another bouncing puck there. And you're at about the 10-minute mark. Time is definitely your enemy now. This breakout was weird and broken, but you get across the blue line. Marty makes it work. I love to see it. Kale trying to find some space. Yeah, I mean, all right. They're shooting. They're shooting. Would have loved to see Logan try to go hard to the net there. I know it's tough to create that chance, but what was that, Sammy? That was weird. And then that was even worse from Manson. Well, my hope is pretty low for this game at this point. Getting goals taken away like that, it's just so hard for teams. Yeah, come on out to the DNVR bar sometime for a game where we're actually there, which is home games mostly now, and the playoffs. We'll be at the bar for every playoff game, but I mean, look, it's a 1-goal game. Literally, all it takes is one play. Doesn't matter how I feel about it. It's silly bounce, high skill play, a puck bouncing in off of the ref's cup. All of those things could happen. It's not unfeasible to think they could win. My vibes are just down right now. They had to slip the Brock Nelson in there to replace Miko since he's not on this team anymore. All right. 9 minutes to go. What you got? You know New York is in the turtle shell big time. But the shift, how is that not interference? Hello? And the game's over. Very cool. Very fun. Well, at least my vibes are right. At least I can say my vibeometer is accurate. Yeah, Gerard just gets beat on the backside there. Just gets torched, really. Yeah, now it's really, really hard. You were one play away. Like, even if things aren't going your way or you're not playing that well, being one play away feels like, maybe something will happen. Being down two, nah, it's just too hard. If you score in the next 2 or 3 minutes, you can at least make it exciting. I don't see the path, but you can at least make it exciting. That's on the defense. You can't expect Blackwood to stop a guy on the backside like that. You either need Manson to break up that pass or you need Gerard to actually cover his guy. And Gerard just straight up lost his guy. So that's more on him than anything to me. But it was also a shift where the Avs chased for 45 seconds, couldn't get even close to possession. And it's a bad shift. I don't know. Circumstances of sure the game should have been tied and it's a different ball game or whatever. It's still a bad shift. Two on two for your third line? Not really. They opted to slow it down. No, I don't think anyone scores again. I think this game ends 3-1, like I predicted, just for the wrong team. Yeah, I mean, you're hurtling towards another loss where you only score one goal. Like, it's the same problem. I know yeah, sure, that goalie interference was nonsense or whatever, but you didn't find a way to score more goals. You found a way to not score more goals. I just don't know. Like, I'm not saying the D played well. The first goal, Natchez' D is horrible. The second goal, Malinsky's turnover is horrible. The third goal, failure from the Manson-Gerard pair, sure. But I just don't. You scored one goal. Again, in a loss, you scored one goal. Like, the Avs have proven they can do more than that. Most of their wins in the last 2 weeks have been scoring 5 or 6 goals. Hey, let's go. Drury gets his goal back. It's still probably too little too late, but at least he gets the goal back. And that's it, right? Like, that's the difference. If you have that goal when this is still a 1-goal game, you're tied. Instead, you get the goal taken off the board. You have that mental letdown. One ends up in the back of your net, and that goal is now, I mean, game's not over, but you're hoping for something spectacular instead of being in a tie game.
Super chat from Irish, $20.
Says Drury vibes. Thank you very much, Irish. Appreciate it.
You missed his other one earlier, but that's okay.
Oh,
I had it on. You're good. I had it on screen for a while. It was $10. It was for here's to start better vibes.
Well, at least someone's out here with good vibes, all right? Yeah. Someone's got to do it. All right. Can the Avs get a good bounce here? Have they earned one in the eyes of the hockey gods tonight? both their goals are not bounces. They're skill plays. It's a good shift from your fourth line here. But nothing really all that dangerous out of it. Nice save. I don't understand what that defensive effort was from that team. You let them get in behind you to get to the puck, and then your entire forward core is just lazy changing. Like, ugh. Get away with it, but ugh. Ugh. I am down on this game. I'm down on this game because I think the Avs have played pretty well, and they're still going to lose. It sucks.
Sucks we've had several games like this, too.
I mean, what else? I mean, I guess maybe you want the first one back if you're Blackwood. I don't know what he's supposed to do without that one. Honestly, the second and the third ones, like one's a backside play, the other one is a all world class shot off of a terrible turnover from your defenseman. Kicking more dudes out of the face-off circle. First career breakaway goal. What a stat that is. Do you think that guy was offside? Yeah. I mean, I hope we get another goal. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want the Avs to do the thing. The vibes ain't there for me right now.
Super chat from Drew.
Thank you, Drew. All I want to do right now is McSorley these refs. I mean, I don't think the reffing's been good tonight. I think they've randomly let a lot of stuff go. That isn't to say it's been bad against the Avs. The reffing part of it, I think the Avs have gotten away with some stuff too. The goalie interference stuff is something. That is definitely something. Oof. All that And it's the Islanders that get a nonsense bounce at the end of the game. When it's not your night, it's not your night. I mean, the Avs couldn't do that on the offensive end if they tried. And it's a perfect redirect into the corner of their own net. I don't agree. I think they played really well for the majority of this game. They just can't score. Like, it's not a persistent problem. Obviously, we talked about this the other night when they did it again, but they score 6 and then they'll spend 3 games scoring 1 or 2, and then they score 5 and then they spend 3 games scoring 1 or 2. It's just wild how inconsistent their ability to put the puck in the back of the net has been over the month of January. Because they have the ability. Like, maybe not to score 6 every night, but they have the ability to average more than 2 goals a friggin' game, but they're not doing it. Yeah. I mean, I'd have done it. Like, if I was Bednar, just to piss off the refs, I'd have challenged for goalie interference on that goal. Game was over anyway. You might as well have fun with it. Yeah, I think that play really showed. Like, it's an empty netter and game was over. I don't care. But for Makar to lose a race like that, I said it earlier in the game, but it's just obvious. The Avs' legs are gone. They have nothing left. Could make an argument it was interference on Holmstrom there too, but it didn't matter. The game was over, so whatever. "40 seconds of pain, and then we can go get ready for our post game." Okay. Yeah, that game wasn't very fun. I think the Avs played pretty well, but they didn't get rewarded and they got punished for their mistakes. And we don't capitalize, you don't win. So anyway, we'll talk about it in the post game. We're done with this watch along. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you in like 15 minutes or so.
We all silly like the mayor.